Residential gas-fired tank-type water heaters. That's a mouthful. These water heaters are available in a variety of sizes and BTUs to fit that application. Truth is, the good majority ranges from 30, 40, 50, and 75 gallon models. Now today I'd like to specify the difference between a water heater and a hot water heater. It's pretty clear to see which is which. Now, a water heater rating plate can get confusing, so I'm just going to give you the bullet points and the stuff that you need to know. So in the model number, you have the amount of gallons, the size of the water heater. You have the BTUs, or British thermal units. That's the unit of measure for the amount of heat that's being provided. You have the warranty, and you have what gas the water heater burns. In this case, natural gas. All right, here is a quick video explaining how a water heater works.
The heat source in this gas water heater is the burner flame. A chimney extends from the bottom to the top of the reservoir to efficiently transfer heat.
As they open this water heater, it will bring some clarity to what you're handling day to day. You can see there's a powder-coated sheet metal outside that they're going to cut off. That's the jacket of the water heater. Then there's a big heavy insulation, and inside there's a glass-lined steel tank.
The bottom of the water heater and the chimney are both made of metal. Okay, the flame heats the air, which heats the bottom of the water heater and enters the chimney. Thanks to the conductive properties of metal, the heat is transferred to the water. But there's more. A baffle in the chimney slows the air. It must work its way through the zigzags, which allows more time to transfer more heat to the water. A clever design which optimizes heat conduction. But if conduction is so great at transferring heat from the burner to water, then it can also conduct heat from the hot water to air outside the tank. To prevent that, the water heater is also a perfect insulator, thanks to this polyurethane foam. Thanks to insulation, the water heater keeps water hot a long time. The water heater really does have a split personality. There's no possible doubt. It's an excellent conductor, transferring maximum heat from the burner to water in the reservoir. But it's also a champion of insulation when it comes time to keep heat inside.
All right, now that we understand the mechanics of how a gas-fired water heater works, I'm going to go over a handful of the components and then where some of the ancillary products or the add-on products come into play with what we sell every single day. So right here at the bottom is the gas valve, or sometimes referred to as the control valve. This is what it looks like. It's like the throttle to your car. Up, down, ignition, it's all right there. Next is the gas burner. Now the gas burner has changed over the years, but the current model looks like this. We do sell replacements, but this is a very rare thing to go out in today's water heater. Then we have the tank, the insulation, and the jacket. The flue baffle is not a replacement part. It is built into the water heater flue. It's just part of the process for slowing down that air, as you saw in the beginning. The draft diverter on top is a way to take and allow an air gap and your vent to adapt to the top of the water heater. Now the hot water outlet is always on the left-hand side. As a general rule, when you're looking at any fixture or any appliance, your hot should be on your left. The drain valve essentially is a hose bib built into the bottom of the water heater to drain, flush, and maintenance. The biggest difference between a wholesale professional grade water heater and a residential water heater from a retailer like Home Depot or Lowe's is a brass drain valve from the wholesaler and a plastic drain valve from the retailer. Next is the dip tube. The cold water inlet comes in through a dip tube, which pushes the cold water right down to the bottom near the burner. This is a replacement part we sell and looks like this. Looks like a gal nipple with a piece of PEX stuffed in the end of it. The anode rod is made up of a sacrificial metal, meaning it's very, very low integrity. So if water comes in that is lacking a mineral, it will attack the anode rod before it attacks the glass lining or any sort of impurity in the tank. The anode rod is designed to save the metal of the tank. This is also a replacement part we carry and is very commonly interchanged to mitigate water odors and things of that nature. The T&P, or temperature and pressure relief valve, is arguably the most important part of water heater safety. Absolutely no questions about it. It is designed to relieve any excess pressure or excess temperature in the case that something is not venting or overheating or whatever. The T&P is a life safety piece and is never to be plugged. While we're on the subject of safety, we sell thermal expansion tanks made by Watts or Amtrol or whomever. This is a redundant safety feature to the T&P. If the off chance that the T&P is plugged or stuck, that excess pressure will go inside the expansion tank bladder and relieve the pressure and then come back into the tank as the pressure goes away. One of the things that most people do not know is that the incoming pressure of the house, meaning the water pressure, if it's 60 pounds, the expansion tank needs to be set at 60 pounds. Now I want to break down this photo of a brand new home with a water heater installed. I want to talk about the components that we carry that are based around this water heater. First and foremost, you can see that water heater is vented through the roof. We carry every style of venting available for that piece. It's on the vent aisle. Just by glancing at this photo, I could walk over to that aisle and grab the components we need. It would be a vent 90, some vent pipe, a vent pipe hanger, a storm collar, a flashing, and a cap in every case, just glancing at this photo. All right, moving over to the water, you can see that there's two flex connectors connecting the cold in and the hot out. Easy peasy, we got this. Stainless steel braided flexes, both 18s and 24s, or we can go copper flexes, 18, 24s, you name it. Don't forget to sell that ball valve. There's got to be a way to isolate that cold water coming in. All right, looking to complete this order. All water heaters come with a T&P, or a temperature and pressure relief valve, installed. When a T&P operates, at least 150 degree water is going to come out of there. So by code, it has to be ran in metal outside the building. So let's sell this guy some 3/4 inch M. How about a 10-footer? Let's give him a handful of 90s and a nice 7/8 escutcheon, which you can see on the wall there to make it nice and clean. You know what? Let's give him some flux solder and an acid brush to put it together. Okay, we're going to offer him a coated gas flex, any length he wants, and don't forget about that AGA ball valve. All right, next, looks like he's sitting on a Smitty pan there, which would be a leak pan that has to get piped outside. So let's give him a 24-inch Smitty pan, some 3/4 inch PVC pipe, some 3/4 90s, and a quart of Christie's Red Hot for a non-pressure situation. Get the job done easy and quick. Now, knowing water heaters the way we do, in and out, we could also offer that customer a stand or an exterior enclosure, and then we would want to remind him, hey, don't forget about the expansion tank and, of course, your earthquake bracket in a California situation. And then the customer would be like, oh, dang, man, you know your stuff. And we'd be like, duh, we're Todd Pipe.